Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I have a really exciting show for you today. It's a little bit off the real estate topic, but it is all about passive income. And I have the founder of Digital Nomad Quest, Sharon Tseung, with us today. How you doing this morning, Sharon?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. So why don't we just start off with what is a digital nomad? Because that was a new term to me.
Yeah, so a digital nomad is basically someone who can work location independently from wherever they want, just from the comforts of their laptop. So maybe they're doing remote work or they're building their own businesses that allow them to like go wherever, and it kind of funds their travels basically.
So you can work from your laptop on a beach, in a high-rise hotel, any country, right? As long as there's Wi-Fi connection, I would guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like Wi-Fi is the most important.
Wi-Fi connection is the most important. So this sounds like a dream. Is this something you want to do in the future? Is this something you're working to, or is it something you've already done?
Yeah, so I actually did for 2 years. So I quit my job in 2016 and then did it for 2 years. Traveled around Europe and Asia, like Europe for 6 months, Asia for another 6 months, came back and traveled within US and Canada, and then went back out to Asia again. And I kind of came back deciding that like being here was like the next step for me. The Bay Area has a lot of like entrepreneurial, ambitious people that I could learn from. And I decided, you know what, I'll just come back and like get better at my craft and build my brand. So right now I'm here, but like in the future, I could go back out again. Who knows?
So let me get this right. So we'll just say in your 20s. We won't put a number, but you're in your 20s, and you quit work in 2016 and go, I'm out of here. I'm going to go live the nomad life for 2 years in various countries. That seems crazy to some old guys like us who feel like we have to work forever and retirement's in our 60s. So how'd you have the guts to do that?
Yeah. So, well, okay. Back in 2014, I did like a month-long Europe trip
Okay.
and just by myself. And I feel like I met a lot of people pursuing their passions, like really passionate about life. And it was just really interesting, like hearing these different stories. And I wanted to, I realized I was like in a bubble, like being here, and I wanted to experience more in life. So that kind of was what triggered this whole thing. And also, I had been in the Bay Area for like most of my life, like over 20 years, right? So I was just like, okay, this if I were to do it, it'd be now. So yeah, so basically I studied a lot of like books and blogs trying to learn more about online businesses, and then I came across like the digital nomad thing. So that's like what prompted everything basically. And I booked a one-way ticket for 6 months out, and I was like, you know what, this is my deadline. Like if I'm ready, I'll do it. Like if not, I guess I could just like skip this whole thing. But that was kind of like the point where I was just like, all right, I'm gonna study really hard and like build up income streams, like maybe take up some part-time remote positions, and just like prepare myself for that transition in case I'm able to do it. And then I ended up doing it. So so that's what happened. Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing. So again, right, old guy here. My way of thinking about taking quote unquote 6 months off is you got to go save a big pile of money, and then you peel that off a little at a time. And what I hear you saying is, no, that's not it at all, idiot. What you do is you build up various passive income streams so that it is funding at least a decent portion of your monthly expenses while you're on your journey. Is that fair to say?
Well, I actually built up a good nest egg, so I agree with you. Like, I think I saved up a lot. I recommend kind of saving like at least 1 to 2 years of expenses, if anything. And I mean, I was living at home actually, so like I saved a lot of money, and I was working hard towards building more income streams to like build up that nest egg too.
Mhm.
So I had like my full-time position as well as two other part-time remote positions I picked up on the way. And then I wasn't making that much in passive income at that time before I left, but it was like a few like maybe like $100 a month or something like that at that point, where I was like, you know what, that's like enough proof that I could like build this up in in the 1 to 2 years I decided to go out.
Mhm.
So yeah, I definitely recommend building up the nest egg and before like take the leap or anything, and then build up that like income stream or the passive income streams to basically fund everything. So
That's cool. So what did you, let's go up to before you left that 6-month deadline. So obviously you had a job, you were living at home, you were saving, right? Living below your means, which is huge.
hmm
Well, let's talk about some of the, what I'll call side hustles. I don't know what else to call them, the other income streams. What were you building? Was it a Shopify thing, a YouTube thing, or what were those other streams that were starting as little trickles?
Yeah, so when I first started, I was experimenting with like Kindle and Etsy.
Okay.
So on Etsy, I sell like digital downloads, like Photoshop templates and Microsoft Word templates. And then with Kindle, I would basically like have books written under pen names, and I would look on Amazon to see what people were searching for, and then get those books written. Both of those made money, but I decided to veer off the Kindle thing, and then like, Etsy was more fun for me because I like doing like kind of graphic design and stuff like that. So that was the first one I built out. And then I started looking into Merch by Amazon, which is basically this platform where you can upload designs, and then Amazon like puts that on like shirts and hoodies and things like that, and they'll print and like fulfill it for you whenever someone buys. That one's super passive. You just get like royalties. You don't even need to deal with the customer. And then I moved on to like Fulfillment by Amazon. Actually, it might have been the other way around, where I started with Amazon FBA. But the idea with that one is like you work with manufacturers in China, and you like send inventory to the Amazon warehouse. And basically whenever people buy, it's like the same thing. Amazon's going to fulfill it for you. So yeah, I was experimenting with these different channels. I also did like affiliate marketing through my blog. So recommending products that people might get value from. And then if they use my link, like I get commissions. So these were like the main income streams. Also, I have like a rental property as well that cash flows.
So again, you were trying to create as many sort of little passive income streams, whether it be Etsy or Amazon or affiliate links. Obviously, they all start small. And did these continue once your travel began? Or did not have time to invest in it? Or how did those early starts transition for the next 2 years? What happened to them?
Yeah, so actually while I was traveling, that's when I was building them out even more so. So the idea with the digital nomad is you're not just like vacationing wherever, you're actually working. It's like a workcation, that's what people call it, right? They go to like cafes, and they work on their businesses and stuff like that, and meet up with other digital nomads. And that's kind of what I did. I would like look for other like-minded people and like work at cafes or work from home. So yeah, it wasn't like I was just chilling. So yeah, I was building it out through the whole thing, as well as I was documenting on my blog, like, oh, this is how I did this and this. So that was my plan. I was like, let me attempt all these different ones, see what hits and what doesn't. What I found was that like if you focus on it, it will work. Like it works, everything works, kind of thing. It's just the one that you just have to be persistent. Basically, you have to focus.
Okay, very cool. So let's talk about that. So you set up these little streams. The 6-month window comes. Clearly, you get on the plane, right? Because you take off. And then what got the focus over the next 2 years, right? What did Etsy take off and Amazon decline, or which one really took off and maybe became a lion's share of that passive income for you?
Well, the Etsy one was the first one, but yeah, I mean, I feel like fear was kind of motivating me. Like I didn't want to come back like, oh, everything failed, like nothing worked, right? So I was like, okay, I gotta get this going. So that was the first one, and then I wanted to see all these other income streams that I had researched about. So it's like, okay, let me move on to this next one, because like I pretty much have this process down. I think with every passive income stream, it's like you learn the blueprint, and that's like a huge learning curve. But once you like figure that out, you can maybe move on to another one, or like have the other one kind of automatically going somehow. I guess with like buy and hold rentals too, right? You learn the blueprint, and you can just keep doing it, right?
For sure. So we talked earlier, we put some numbers around this. When you were leaving, it sounded like they were maybe making $100 a month or $3 a day, right? So maybe that funds part of your experience in Thailand or something, but probably doesn't help you in the Bay Area. I'm curious where they grew, right? Did they grow past that $100 a month thing, or did they I mean, where did they go over that journey?
Yeah, so was able to basically on average hit like 4K a month.
Wow.
And yeah, and actually last December, I think it was like 6 grand that month. So like I haven't been working on it as much like these days because I'm trying to build my brand more. But yeah, like if you focus on it, you can make, I hear stories of like hundreds of thousands per month actually. So like it's crazy. So yeah, I think it's all doable basically.
And again, so you documented all of this. You documented the start, the little trickles of $100, kept at it, took off, grow to, several $1,000s, which is very impressive. Where is this blog? Where can people find the blog and look at your journey and go back and just absorb all this great information?
Yeah, it's at digitalnomadquest.com. I documented from like the very beginning too, where I had nothing coming in, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be at work right now. Like I documented everything. And you can also find me on YouTube. So it's like youtube.com/Sharon Tseung. I recently started it like a few months ago, where I'm trying to do like 3 videos a week, trying to like pump out that content where I can teach people a lot.
Very, very cool. So when you talk about your brand, what is your Digital Nomad Quest brand? What do you see that as, Sharon?
I think the whole purpose is really to inspire people to design their lives. And it's mainly through that financial freedom, right? So it's like a few different components, but mainly it's, building passive income businesses to achieve that financial freedom to kind of do whatever you want in life, basically pursue your dreams.
I love that. Design your life. I thought
Yeah,
that was very cool.
thanks.
So what is your life design? So you're still in your 20s. I mean, can you even think to your 30s or 40s, or is that like just too far away?
Well, right now I feel like I'm in a good place. Like basically, I think when I was traveling, I was building those passive income streams, and I was thinking, I want to build something that creates more impact, and I'm passionate about it. And those income streams weren't doing it for me. Like it's it's like a tool to do what you want, but it's not the thing that's going to give you that purpose. So um, that's like one of the biggest takeaways I had while I was traveling, right? But now I feel like building my brand is like fulfilling for me right now, because I get a lot of questions now, and I see the impact I'm giving, and that really like feels good. And and I think my passion is also like creating. So like creating stuff like content and whatever is like really fun for me too. And I always say, purpose is where passion and impact merge. So I think I have that right now. And so currently I'm just like, let me do this while I'm actually working full time doing marketing right now. So right now it's all about like building my skills. Like my job is cool where I'm like learning, and I can also still work on my brand. So yeah, right now it's like, that's the idea. And maybe in the future, go out and travel again if I have that type of freedom, and work on whatever I want. Like I make music as well. So like that's something I'd like to work on more. And yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I got to imagine I just love that phrase. I've never heard it said that way. Design your life.
Mm-hmm.
I think too many people fall into the way I was raised, right? Go to school, get a good job, climb the corporate ladder,
Mm.
and retire or die at 65, right?
Yeah.
But if you do sit back and design your life and realize that the power we all have now in our phones and Digital Nomad Quest, right? The ability to really live anywhere with Wi-Fi. We
Yeah.
have Wi-Fi. You really do have options to design your life. So what would you say to a high school student? Let's just assume they've walked across stage, a couple of days with family or whatever. Pretend like you're graduating high school. Would you say just go off to college and just fall into that rut? Or would you tell people, you know what? You talk about what Gary Vee does and just go experience life a little bit and take some risks. Where do you fall on that kind of?
Yeah. I actually believe in education. So like,
Okay.
I'm down for people to go to college. And for me, I had a lot of time while I was in college too. Like I went to Berkeley, but I still had a lot of time to like, do whatever. I wish I worked more on my like hustles and my passions. So I think what I would tell someone is to like make sure you're thinking about like, what do you love to do? Like, what's your passion? And start working on it, I guess, start building. And I think like, if you start building kind of your empire, like in the beginning of building your brand or whatever, you know, it's a long-term game. So it's like good to start early.
Yeah. The other question I wanted to ask, because we've alluded to it once, but I want to just put it out there, is part of the key to this is living below your means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keeping your monthly expenses low.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, do you see it that way? And if so, how much of keeping your monthly expenses low was kind of keyed the digital nomad quests kind of belief?
Well, actually, the funny thing is when I traveled, like I realized that a lot of digital nomads save like a lot of money because the expenses are actually lower. So like you just have to identify cheaper countries to travel to that are still like fun and safe. And what I was actually able to spend only like 1,400 per month on average.
Wow.
Yeah, which is like less than Bay Area rent basically. So
Yeah.
I just thought it was financially a good decision, and I could live life while building out my businesses and not like worry that much about how much I'm spending. But I would still, you know, track my expenses and things like that. But I knew that going in that this was the idea to like cut down expenses. And so I believe in that. But right now, like I don't want to do that whole lean fire thing. Like I want to just like be able to live my life. So I'm trying to hit like higher numbers with my passive income, and I don't want that to be the goal though. I don't want to like focus on the numbers, but you know, my idea is like I want to be able to do what I want. Actually, like one of the things I'd love to do is have a bunch of like Airbnb rentals around the world, and like, you know, purchase property around the world so that like it could allow for travel wherever as well as cash flowing wherever. So that's one of my dreams too.
That's very cool. I want to go back to that again. You tracked your expenses, and on average, you were spending $1,400 a month. That's lodging, food, entertainment, everything.
Everything, yeah, like all the flights, everything, the transportation within the cities, everything.
So in theory, right, if you're making, let's just say $5K a month now, you could essentially be a digital nomad for the rest of your life right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like when I was in Thailand, it was like averaging 4K a month, and I was spending like $600 a month in Chiang Mai. Like Chiang Mai is super cheap, and I would recommend for anyone who wants to be a digital nomad, like that's the starting point, because people call it the digital nomad capital, and a lot of the digital nomads start there because of the low expenses, the chill lifestyle, and the ability to like meet other nomads and work with them as well.
So where was that one more time?
Chiang Mai, Thailand. It's like super, it's actually like a good standard of living too. So you know, at first when I went there, I was worried like, oh, is this going to be like crappy? Like, am I going to hate it? But it was great. Yeah. I ended up being there for like 4 months. So.
Wow. So clearly it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we've touched on this a couple of times already. We'll come back to it as rental properties. You actually own a rental property.
Yeah. I own one in Antioch, actually.
And I think if I remember the story, you bought it during the crash. Is that right?
So I bought it in 2012. Yeah, 2012. And pretty much, yeah, because basically the properties had dropped over like 60%. So it was super, you know, super undervalued. So, you know, my parents kind of like did most of it for me, and I just put in the money. So I'm grateful for that. Like,
well, let's be clear. You put in the money is the hard part, right? Let's not act like that was easy, right? So you were saving and investing.
That's true. Yeah.
That's where most people miss. So
okay,
that's really good. So now that you're back, you're working full time. You're in the Valley. You still have passive income, right?
Yeah, it's still going to this day, and now I'm just like teaching people the steps to getting there.
Right, and this is where Is it fair to say you're having the most fun right now as far as teaching and helping people? Is that fair? Or back when you were in Chiang Mai, Thailand was the most fun?
It's like different feelings, I guess, because I think while traveling, it's like, it's fun, but it's also a lot of time for me to think, what's my purpose? Is this like the right path for me? So it's a lot of mental, like back and forth introspection all the time. Whereas like right now, I don't find myself questioning my path. And that's like a nice feeling.
That's cool. Yeah. The whole self-talk thing. So that's crazy to me. So you're in your 20s, you're in Thailand, you have income that is supporting your yearly expenses, but yet your self-talk still gets in the way.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you're going out there, it's like you don't have your close friends coming with you. You're by yourself. And every month, like I was doing a month at each place, and every month I would go to a new place. I would the friends I would make there, they're going somewhere else, and I have to make new friends. And I think that type of feeling is like, you know, when you don't have home exactly, even though I still viewed like home as the Bay Area or whatever, like I didn't find um, a new place that I could call home yet. And I think that maybe makes you like think a lot more too.
Very, very cool. So what does the future hold for you for passive income? Are you creating courses for the digital nomad quest, more rental properties? What do you look to add to your bag of tricks as you take this forward?
Yeah, so I currently have a course on how to make passive income through Etsy, but I'm actually working on a course right now with my friend where we're teaching about blogging for money. So he actually does it full time, like for the blogging part, and it's like pretty much on, well, not completely, but on autopilot, where like he hires people and they write a lot of the articles, and he's just doing the digital nomad thing basically for longer than I have. So yeah, so I'm working on that course with him because like we both have that knowledge of how to build up traffic to your blog and start making money on it. I'm also hoping to get like another rental maybe this year. We'll see. So that's what's in store for now.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Seeing someone, I don't know, I'll say take a risk. Maybe you didn't see it as a risk, but I saw my stupid brain sees it as a risk.
No, definitely a risk. Yeah.
Jumping out of the workforce.
It was scary. It was scary. Yeah.
Taking it forward is awesome. So one more time, how can people find you in Digital Nomad Quest?
Yeah, so you can go to digitalnomadquest.com as well as YouTube. Look for Sharon, Tseung.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sharon. This has been a lot of fun. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Thanks so much.